Hey, peace and bless. Oh, that didn't come out right. Peace and blessings, fam. um, so today, I want to talk about this verse or these verses and this word, contention. Talk about a contentious woman. This one I just had to do because it's been on my mind like nonstop until since I was accused of being a contentious woman. So I always evaluate myself. I always meditate and think about the things that I've done to make sure I'm seeing the same prints that others are seeing as I leave them behind, if that makes sense. So, at first when I was being told that I was contentious, I was like, nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way you consider me a contentious person. Because to me, in my head, a contentious person is the type of person who always wants to fight, always wants to argue. Every time you take them somewhere, it's a problem. A lot of y'all know, some of y'all don't know, I was in a group home for a lot of years. I was one of the good people as far as being on levels. I was on level 3, right? That was the high level. You've been doing a great job. So we got to go on events all the time. And Skate Depot was one of my favorite. But it got to a point where Skate Depot banned us. They didn't say, you can't go, you can't go, you can't. They said your group cannot come. Because every time your group comes, there's a fight in our establishment. And we're just not having it. So we were talking and I was saying, it's always such and such. I'm not going to throw her name out there because I love you, girl. She probably don't even remember me. But it's always such and such. She's the reason we're always fighting. So when we started going on other events, we didn't want her to come because she was contentious. Because she was the reason we were always fighting. So to evaluate myself, I had to say, first, what is the definition of contention? 2, is it the same definition as being used in these scriptures? Are they explaining the same thing? And 3, is that me? So, contentious. What I'm seeing in the book, and we're going to get to a few verses, is that this contentious woman is insistent on being difficult to live with. Especially when her husband is concerned. That's what we're going to see in these verses. I'm going to assume this is a person that starts arguments. They're not looking for solutions. It's just problem after problem after problem. And we're going to confirm that. So the definition. 1, causing or likely to cause an argument. Controversial. So a controversial issue can be used in place of this word. So, a controversial issue is, when is the Sabbath? This is a topic that is likely to cause an argument. Because that's what the definition says, right? It says causing or likely to cause an argument, semicolon, controversial. So, when the Sabbath is, according to people who keep it on Sunday, Saturday, Friday, 12 hours from one sunrise to the next sunrise. This is a controversial topic, right? Okay. Still not what the Bible is talking about. The next definition says, involving heated argument. The example sentence they gave was, and I put calendar in place of whatever they put. The calendar has been the subject of contentious debate. Contentious debate involving heated argument. Still not a person. Okay? The next definition says, of a person given to arguing or provoking argument. The example they gave was a contentious politician haranguing a crowd. I don't know if I said that word right. I ain't never said I'm the one to know everything, but I had to look up the definition because I don't even know how to say it. So how do I know what it means, right? So it says a lengthy or aggressive speech. A lecture at length in aggressive manner. So if I'm talking to you and I'm giving a long aggressive speech and it's unnecessary, that's when you're a contentious person. So I am in the house and I'm giving just a long lecture about every time we go to the park, your friends at the park. Your friends want to come to the park and they just want to take all your attention and play basketball with you. Ignore their kids. You ignoring your kids. I'm the one with the kids. All right, you going on and on and on. It's lengthy. It's aggressive. It's unnecessary. Stop. It's contentious. You, the person, are now contentious. Lecture at length in aggressive manner. I had written something and I wrote it with love, but it was taken and it was read with aggressive, in an aggressive manner. Mean, rude. And it was like, okay, no, that's contentious. As a person, that's contentious. It says lecture in length in aggressive manner. A lengthy or aggressive speech. If a kid gets in trouble and the father is handling it, and now here come the mama. Yeah, because your daddy said, and you always disobeying, and he gonna check you. Okay, you're not even doing it towards your husband, but it's still contention. It's an unnecessary argument for no reason whatsoever. Unnecessary, aggressive, lengthy. That's the problem, right? And then for law, the last definition says, relating to or involving differences between contending parties. So we could be sitting there, two parties, sitting there calm, patient, not aggressive, not even speaking. Our lawyers are speaking, but there is contention there. Not saying that either party is contentious, but it's relating to or involving differences between parties. So, which of these definitions is the Bible talking about? A contentious woman. Let's look at Proverbs 25 and 24. Proverbs 25 and 24. It says, it is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. So they saying it's better for the man who we talking about here to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman, a fighting woman. You just want to fight. You just want to argue. You just want to nag. You just want to complain. You just want a problem. That's what this verse is talking about. Now let's go to Proverbs 27:15, where it's saying the same thing, but only a little different. And let's see what it's talking about. It says, Proverbs 27 and 15. The continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. So, did it say the rain? No. The rain is not like a contentious woman. But the continual dropping. So, the sink could drip. And after a while, it's going to get on your nerve. Either turn it on or turn it off. It's like the Most High is the same way with the lukewarm thing. Either be hot or be cold. But this thing in the middle, that's not going to get it. That lukewarm is not going to get it. Either rain, either flood, or drought. But this continual dripping, just drip, 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 drip. Now that is what is compared to a contentious woman. So a woman that speaks up, just because she spoke up doesn't make her contentious. A woman who's not afraid to say something that somebody else is afraid to say doesn't make her a contentious woman. Bringing up controversial topics that need to be discussed does not make her a contentious woman. Now, constantly doing those things, yes, you become a contentious woman. It could be something that's not even a controversial topic. You left the toilet seat up. You left the toilet seat up. The toilet seat is left up again. Oh my goodness, I fell in the toilet. You can't put the toilet seat down? How hard is it to put the toilet seat? Now that's contentious. Because you're just going on and on and on. It's argumentative. It's not even seeking a solution. It's just nagging. It's just a drop in the bucket over and over and over and over again. How could that be right? Could I just be saying this because I was accused of being contentious, because I'm not afraid to speak on controversial issues that need to be talked about in this day and age? Or does the Bible support this? Let's find out. Before we move on, though, let's look at some others that say the same thing. Proverbs 21 and 19. Proverbs 21 and 19. It says, "It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman." So we keep on finding out what they talking about with this, because now they've added angry into the mix. And even a place that's worse is, I don't want to dwell in the wilderness. I'm used to this comfort. But if I got to be around you and you angry and you contentious and that's all you want to do is argue and fight and nag and complain and mope, and yeah, you're a drop, a continuous drop in this bucket, and it's getting on my nerve and it's going to stop. That's a contentious woman. And we added angry on there because she's not just saying, "Dang, babe, you left the toilet seat up again. Are you serious? You left the toilet seat up." There's a difference. Even though what you say can be contentious, even if it doesn't sound angry. You can politely say, "I just want to slap you right now." Knowing that that's going to cause an argument, that's contentious. You don't have to be riled up and angry to be contentious. Right? Let's go to, I did that one already. Oh no, this is a different one that's saying the same thing. Chapter 21 and verse 9. It says the same thing. "It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." So this contentious woman has been called angry, brawling. Is more than just talking about something. It's more than just bringing up a controversial issue. I like to go to Deborah all the time, because the way people talk about women and how women are supposed to move and behave, a woman like Deborah in Judges 4 would never have existed. Now, we're going to look at Deborah and we're going to look at some of her responses and determine, is this contentious? Is this a contentious woman? Or is this a woman of God? And how is she moving? Right? So we're going to go straight to it. We're going to jump in. Judges chapter 4. And to give you, I'm going to go on and read into it. We technically going to start at verse 4, but I'm going to read into it for context. And we're going to see. Was this woman a contentious woman? Was this woman a woman of God? And how did she move? Right? Verse 1 says, and the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord. And when Ehud was dead, and the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, who dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. So basically, what we just read was what Israel always does. We say we're going to do right. We do wrong. We get in trouble. We get sold into captivity. We cry unto the Lord and he saves us. And we repeat the same vicious cycle again, all the way until the end to where it doesn't repeat anymore. It comes to an end. But right now, that's what's going on. So verse 4 says, and Deborah, that's a woman. That's a female name. A prophetess. She is a prophetess. This is a woman of God. Not a false prophet, but a prophetess that's used by God, right? The wife of Lipidoth. This is not a single woman. This is not a baby mama. This is not someone who is out of order. She's a prophetess. She's a wife. She judged Israel at that time. She's a judge. I'm going to read that all together without me putting in anything so that you know this is what the book is saying. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lepidoth, she judged Israel at that time. So that answers a lot of questions, right? Verse 5 says, and she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel and Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. So that lets us know she's not just judging her house where she's a wife, but the children of Israel are coming to her for judgment. They didn't say, excuse me, sister, are you married? Can I talk to your husband about this real quick? Nah, they went to the prophetess, the woman, the wife, the judge, who's being used by God. We're going to see her mannerism, right? It says, verse 6. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali, and of the children of Zebulun. So the children of Israel coming to her for judgment, and she sent for Barak. And when Barak came, she didn't say, hi, my lord. Hi. Can I have permission to speak to you? Didn't the Lord tell you? Nah, not at all. She sent for him. And when he got there, she said, I'm going to read it again. Hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying? So she could have said it like that. Hi, Barak. Didn't God tell you? But if we dealing with a woman of God, we dealing with a prophetess, we dealing with a judge, y'all really think she came like that? She came at him like, Barak, didn't the Lord tell you to go down there and take the men of Naphtali and Zebulun? Did God not tell you that? Let's continue and see if I'm putting too much on it or not. I'm going to read it again and read into the next verse. And she sent and called Barak the son of Abinoam out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, go draw toward Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali, and of the children of Zebulun. And I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, and his chariots, and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. It sounds like she's speaking with some authority right here. Now, I'm not saying she's being rude or disrespectful, but she's speaking from the place of a judge, from the place of a prophetess, right? And Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. So Barak, he doesn't sound like he's a scary guy to me. But he said, look, yeah, he said that. If you going with me, I'll go. But if you're not going, I'm not going. So this woman, we could see the power that she has. We could see the strength in her. He didn't say, look, Deborah, if your husband going, I'll go. No, he said, if you go, I'll go. Does that mean her husband was going with her? I don't know. It doesn't give any detail as far as that. Maybe she had one of those husbands that was like, oh, you going for a walk? We going for a walk. Maybe he was one of those protective, or maybe he was like, look, you got this. You the judge. I'm handling this over here. We don't know. What we do know is he said, if you go, I go. If you don't go, I don't go. But let's look at her response. The response of this virtuous prophetess wife. She said, verse 9 says, and she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest should not be for thine honor. For the Lord shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. So again, how did she respond to him? Did she respond like, oh, okay, sure. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. But it's not your journey. It's the Lord's journey. And because I'm going with you, they're going to put all this into the hands of a woman. No, I'm pretty sure she has some attitude. Come on now, this is Israel. When have we ever changed? We had attitude in the land. We had attitude during slavery. We had attitude during the civil rights movement. We have attitude right now. We have not changed. So the way she said this and the way she's been talking, it probably came out more like, fine, I'll go with you. But you need to understand, this is not your battle. This is God's battle. But since I got to go with you, God is finna deliver them into the hands of a woman. That's probably how it came out. Because I know how I feel right now. This little bit of information I got, I'm trying to give it to a brother. You really gonna let a woman push this? Whatever then. If I got to do it, I got to do it. That's what I'm getting from this conversation. So I'm seeing some pushback. I'm seeing some back and forth. Let's see, how did that back and forth go? Hey, yeah, y'all coming to me for judgment? Cool. Let me give y'all this judgment. All right, now that y'all done, somebody go get Barak and send him over here, please. Okay. Hey, Barak, what's up? What's going on? Because, I mean, did God not tell you to take 10,000 men and go over there? Well, I ain't going if you ain't going. Fine. I'm going to go. But this ain't God. This ain't my battle. This ain't your battle. This is God's battle. But because I'm going with you, God is finna deliver this into the hands of a woman. Would you call her contentious? She said what she had to say. She went the back and forth with him. It wasn't just, hey, did God tell you to go? Okay, yeah, I'm going to go. It was, nah, I don't want to. Unless you go, fine. Let me see. Let me keep going and see if I want to keep going. Verse 10 says, and Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went with him. Now Heber the Kenite, so basically he gathered the men together, said, all right, look, we going over here, and Deborah went. We just read that. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, had served himself from the Kenites and pitched his tent unto the... Okay, so yeah, I don't need to read this. This is where we're going to get into... they were delivered into the hand. One of them got away, tried to escape to Jael, another sister that ended up killing him. She drove a tent spike through his temple. But I always like to go to Deborah anytime we are questioning what a woman is and is not supposed to do. Because this woman was a judge. She was a wife. She was a prophetess. She was a leader. She was strong. I don't think this woman was afraid to speak her mind. Not at all, not one bit. I don't think that because she spoke her mind, she was contentious. Not at all, not one bit. Now let's go to another woman in Judges. Verse 16. Now, I'm going to ask the question. Living with Deborah, do you think her husband was like, man, forget this. I'd rather live in the wilderness or in the rooftop. I got to get away from this woman. No, I don't think so. But this woman in 16, this man loved to be around this woman in 16. And she wasn't aggressive, but she was contentious. This woman is Delilah. Yep. The heifer that tricks Samson and got his hair cut off. His hair, not head, I meant hair. Got his hair cut off so that he could be defeated. Now, this is the type of woman that you're being warned of in Proverbs 31. This woman, Delilah, ain't going to fit that Proverbs 31. This is the kind of woman that you're being warned of when it's talking about a contentious woman. This is the kind of woman, it's better for you to be in the wilderness, on the housetop, in another city, in another country. Just get away from this woman because she has no good for you. Right? I'm going to read this one kind of fast because we know what it is with Delilah, and I'm going to get right to it. Chapter 16, verse 4. So it says, now we know at this time, Samson is a big old menace. The Lord does use people who are a menace to society because he just used Samson. This man who was, a Nazarene, he took the Nazarite vow from birth. His mama took the vow while she was pregnant with him, before she got pregnant with him, and upheld it all the way this time. So he had never cut his hair. He had never eaten of the things of the vine. So no wine, no tomatoes, no, none of that kind of stuff. But he was a mess. And women were his downfall. Right? So he had tried to marry some couple women, try to be with a couple women. Things went bad. He get mad, tear up the whole city. I'm going to burn all y'all stuff down. I'm going to kill, I took a jawbone, killed thousands or 10,000s. I don't even know. He killed a whole bunch of people though with a jawbone. Like he was nothing to play with. But his weakness was women. And he got him one that wasn't good. Chapter 16 of Judges verse 4 says, and it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of R.O.A.R.S, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him, and see wherein his great strength lies, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver. So when the Philistines found out that Samson was in love with this other woman, this Delilah chick, they went to her and was like, look, we'll entice. That's the word they said. Entice him. find out where his strength is so we can take him down. Basically. So whether she got with him with good intentions or not, it doesn't matter at this point. Because right now, her only intent is to hurt him. We're going to see how she did it. Right? And they say, oh, and if you do this, we all going to give you 1,100 pieces of silver. All of us. You're going to be balling. Right? So, verse 6. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. So she went to her man and was like, tell me, baby, how you so strong? And how can somebody take you down? Like, you just so strong. You are the strongest man around here. I love you so much with your strength. How do you do it? Tell me. Right? So this manipulating, conniving, deceptive, contentious woman, and we're going to see if she becomes contentious, is starting to work her magic. Does it seem contentious at first? Does it seem like a nag? Or is it just, hey, baby, how you do that? Let's keep reading. And Samson said unto her, verse 7, if they bind me with 7 green withs with that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man. So he lied to her. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the withs as the threads and toe is broken. And when it toucheth the fire, so his strength was not known. So he told her, he lied. He said, look, if you tie me up, go get some of them figs off there, over that tree. Don't make sure they are not dried out now. You tie me up with them real good. I can't break out of that. That's like kryptonite. Ain't no way. So she did it. And then she told him, they here to get you. Oh my goodness. And he jumped up, boom, broke out of him. Bam, I'm good. Where they at? Let's go. Right? Verse 10. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me. Oh, you mad? And told me now lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. Now this is where it's becoming a little contentious. Now you're becoming like that drop in the bucket. At first it didn't mean anything. But you asking me again. Samson kind of a little slow though. He ain't picked up on it yet. So what'd he do? Verse 11. And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were lairs in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake forth from his arms like a thread. So time 2. He lied again. All right, fine. It ain't really those vines. But if you get a rope and do the same thing, I'm going to be just like any other man. And she did it. And he ain't picked up on it yet. Because now, it's going over and over and over and over and over. In my head, this is me. You got me once. Now you got me again. What's really going on? Verse 13. And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head into a web. And she fashioned it with the pen and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awakened out of his sleep and went away with the pen of a beam and with the web. So At this point, is she crying? You keep telling me lies. Or is she mad? I don't know. Probably a little bit of both. She's on a mission, right? Say whatever has to be said. Verse 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death. That's what that verse said. I'm going to read it again without all the theatrics, because I know I could do the most sometimes. But I need y'all to get this. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death. That right there, my friend, is a contentious woman. This woman took something that was as light as rain on a dry desert. It's so needed. And just dripped, 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 dripped. Am I getting on y'all nerves yet? Because I'm on my nerves. And that's how Delilah was. On his last nerve. At this point, it was better in his life to go dwell on a mountaintop, on a rooftop, in the wilderness, in a field, in a corner of the house, in the basement, in the attic, on the other side of the world. Anywhere would have been better than dealing with this contentious woman. And it came to pass, this verse 16 of chapter 16 of Judges. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up at once, for he has shown me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistine came up unto her, brought the money in her hand, and she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. Who began to afflict him? The lords of the Philistines? The Philistines themselves? The army men? Somebody hitting like, nah. That contentious woman, she began afflicting him. So I was extremely relieved when I started looking at these women. Women I want to be like. Women I don't want to be like. Women that are blessed. Women that are cursed. I was relieved to say, thank you, Lord. You have created a woman that does not like to argue, that does not like strife, does not like contention, has never been viewed as that friend that we're not going to invite because there's going to be a problem. Instead, I am the person that people stand up for and say, hold on. She ain't never done that to me. I ain't never seen her do that to nobody. Actually, when she with me, we have fun. She might get goofy sometimes. She might talk too much sometimes. She might be too quiet. She might get awkward. But you've created that woman that is not labeled as contentious. You have also created a woman who is not afraid to speak when something needs to be said. In these times, these days that we're living in, I'm glad God used me to speak, because I've seen too many situations where a person of God should step forward and say something, and I sit back and I watch men and women be silent. But I'm going to speak. And I'm going to say what needs to be said. And I'm going to be fair. And I'm going to be straightforward. And even though I care about your feelings, I'm not going to care about your feelings enough to sugarcoat, mask, or hide the truth. So if that's you, keep doing what you're doing. I love Deborah. Because imagine if they would have told her to shut up. Sit down, be quiet. I'm going to go talk to your husband about it. I'm going to ask your husband. Now, am I saying that she ran over her husband? Everybody came to her like she was the man? No, I don't get that at all, because this is a godly woman. And even a strong, godly woman knows how. Well, I'm going to put it like this. A real leader knows how and when to be a follower. So if Deborah was a real leader, I'm sure at home she knew how to sit down and let her husband do the leading. And there's a lot it's not a whole lot that could be read about her, but reading and understanding how they operated then, how we think, how human beings move, you can pull a lot out of these stories. I have some more verses. I'm gonna just run to them real quick. I ain't gonna do too much explaining. But gotta hit this New Testament. So I'm gonna go to Ephesians real quick. Ephesians 4. And these I'm gonna just run over real quick, because I think we get it. Being a spokeswoman, speaking on controversial issues, not being afraid to allow words to come out of your mouth does not make you contentious. There have actually been a lot of times where I'm like, oh, okay. I said what I said. There's nothing else for me to say. Now, if you keep asking me questions, then I'm going to keep trying to answer your question, because I don't want to be disrespectful. But I get to the point where, okay, because I ain't trying to convince you. What I have is for me. What God allowed me to see is for my brain to process. And what he allowed you to see is for you. So I can't be mad because you don't see what I see. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much. Let me get straight to this. Ephesians 4, verse 26 and 27. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. Neither give place to the devil. That ain't the verse I wanted. But since we went there, I'm going to talk about it real quick. Is it a sin to be angry? It says here, be ye angry and sin not. So I can be mad. I'm just like God. Trying to be just like him. God gets mad. Right? Does that mean he's an angry person? Does that mean I'm an angry person? No, not at all. Actually, majority of people that know me, that have seen me in all walks of life. I came a long way with that one. Been knowing me for years. They'll tell you my fruit. And I'm not known as an angry person, but it says here, be ye angry and sin not. So I can be angry. That doesn't make me an angry person. I can argue. That doesn't make me argumentative. I can bring up contentious topics. That does not make me a contentious woman. I wonder what verse I wanted to go to, but this for sure wasn't it. I'm going to go right on to the next one. And that was the only New Testament one I had. Psalms 120 and 7. Psalms 120, verse 7. Psalms 120. I need to put a mask on my lips. They irritating me. 119 is such a long one. Okay. It says, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. I see why I put that right there, because I be feeling like that sometimes. I be for peace. When I speak, if I speak about something that is controversial, that requires change, in anything of that sort, I'm coming with peace. Now, anybody that know you, and I wish my cousin would hop on this and vouch for me real quick, because she's known me as a child all the way to an adult. But I'm the peacemaker. I'm the one that's like, we don't have to fight. Why we gotta fight? Now, if we gotta fight, we gotta fight. And I can say this, especially say something, tell the truth. All the fights I've been in, except maybe 2, have been because of the people that I'm with. Because if I'm with family and family is fighting and I need to fight and I don't fight, then I'm going to have to fight when I get back home. So while we out here, I'm going to make sure either I don't have to fight or that I'm fighting. Otherwise, I'm the peacemaker. I'm the one, don't do that. We don't have to go there. Really? Did you have to argue? I'm not even finna argue about it. Matter of fact, you mad, you can stay mad. I'm going to be over here until you're not mad no more. Because I'm not mad. Because I don't care. You feel me? But just because I bring up something, doesn't mean that I'm not at peace. Because I'm going to do what I do. And y'all going to do what y'all do. But people be ready for war. And I be telling people all the time, especially on this Facebook, why are you mad? You talking to me all disrespectfully in the comments, in your words, like it's either going to make me mad or it's going to make me sad. But either way, like, I'm nonchalant. It's not doing either one of those things. So why are you mad? Why are you arguing? Like, we could talk. I think this, you think that. Either one of us are wrong. So both of us should take a look at what the other is talking about. Anyways, Proverbs 15:18. Wrong way, this way. Proverbs 15:18. And then I got one more after this. And that will be all for me. 15:18. It says, a wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. So, wrathful. You mad, you want to fight. I should have written down that. But y'all know what a wrathful person is. And they stir up strife. What is strife? Anger. Bitter disagreement over fundamental issues. So, this sounds like something that a person that's contentious would do. Stir up strife. Look at Delilah. She kept that thing going. We don't know if this was the same day. I'm sure it wasn't. We don't know if it was the same week, the same month, the same year. What we do know is she kept it going until she got what she wanted. And that was the secret to how to bring this man down. So she kept it going. Somebody that's not contentious or slow to anger, they're going to appease it. Fine. If that's what y'all want to think. I don't have nothing else to say about it. That's just what it is. I'm not even mad. Now, I will say, before I go to this Proverbs 26 and 21, that I get loud. I'm loud right now. I'm the only person in here. And I'm talking to people through a phone. But I'm still loud. My voice is still elevated. Does that mean I'm angry? Am I contentious because I'm loud? I don't think so. Proverbs 26 and 21. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. Did y'all catch that? So, sorry y'all, my lips irritate me. So, a man can be contentious. We always talk about the contentious woman. I'll probably be the first to say, it's better for me to live on a rooftop of a house, in a corner of a house, in a closet, in a basement, in the attic, in another country, in another house, away from a contentious man. So this word goes both ways. You can be a contentious woman and a thorn in my side. You can also be a contentious man and a thorn in my side. There have been some conversations that I've had. This one specifically was on Clubhouse, where I was coming humbly, because I already knew I'm a woman bringing this information. So we got ego and pride and all that to deal with. So I'm going to come calm. I'm going to be quiet. And I'm going to come... excuse me, I'm gonna come correct, right? And this man was angry. He was rude. He was disrespectful. We see later in the conversation, which he should have done up front. He asked me, did I have a husband? Do you have a husband? I might need to talk to him. No, you should have asked me that before you got aggressive with me. But in bringing up this controversial topic that needs to be discussed, it's a fundamental issue. I was met with contention. So it says, coals, as coals are to burning coals, they catch. You put some coals in with some coals that's burning, them coals gonna catch. And wood, where is it? And wood to fire. If I throw some wood in the fire, the wood is going to catch. So is a contentious man to kindle strife. You put a contentious man in the mix, he's gonna build strife. He's gonna build strife, cause strife. So we saw Deborah, a woman who was in the midst of a situation, a prophetess, a godly woman, a wife, a judge over Israel, and her responses and how she responded, and is not considered a contentious woman. And then we see Delilah, who is absolutely a contentious woman. She is loving, sweet, kind, but malicious. And we see how that worked. Now, those verses say what is better for that man to do. I think it's better for Deborah's husband to be in that house with her. I think it's better for Samson to have gotten rid of Delilah. He never should have brought her in. So that was that. Excuse all the movement. I know I'm moving a lot and stuff. I got this phone in my hand like, it's an earthquake. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be goofy. But I just had to bring up what I found, because I could say, yes, I am a contentious woman. Why? Not because I'm a contentious woman, but because, what do these definitions say? I bring up issues that are likely to cause an argument because they are controversial. Yes. Me being an Israelite is a controversial topic. And I'm going to talk about it to you him, her, she, him, them, shim, whatever pronoun they want to use nowadays. And while I'm talking to the him, shims, and them, while it's controversial to say that, hey, I have a problem with you black man being effeminate because we at a point where they finna come after us, and who's going to protect us? I'm going to bring up that controversial topic, and I'm going to speak that to that man or woman that's out of order. I'm going to do that. Yes. And I'm proud to be able to do that. Why? Because I do it for my God. I do it for the Father. I do it for my people. You'll never see me have no contention, no argument, no back and forth, unless I'm defending myself or my God. Other than that, I don't really care what you do. I don't really care what you do. Involving heated argument, yes. You say something, I'm going to say something back. Yep, until I've said it already. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. What I look like? I done said that 5 times. Either at this point, you playing with my intelligence, or you don't care about what I'm saying, and you're mocking me. What was the other one? Of a person. Give in to argument or provoking argument. I could be. Maybe I am provoking an argument by bringing up the fact that we're following a man-made calendar instead of counting time the way God said. Am I? Am I offending God in doing it, though? Or does he like it? I think he does, because he the one got me doing it. And then relating to or involving differences between corresponding parties. But what I am proud to say is that I am not and have never been the type of woman that a man wants to get away from. Ask my exes. They want me back. Everybody that I've been with, ain't none of them like, get away from her. She contentious. She just want to fight. She don't listen. She hard-headed. She talk too much. She don't do what I ask. She only want her way. She manipulative. None of that. None of it. I have 4 children by 2 men. 2 and 2. Both of them want me back. Both of them would take me back if I said, you know what, let's make this work. How do I know? Because they always try. They been trying. And I ain't trying to mess up. I know they ain't looking at this anyway. But anybody who is watching, I ain't trying to mess up what you got going on. Because you already know, I don't move backwards. So I can proudly say, even though I'm a woman that speaks up for God, I'm a woman that knows how to treat her husband. Even though I ain't never been married. But ask my boyfriends. Ask somebody that has seen me in a relationship. Come on now. So, if I become one of those brawling women that people got to get away from me and get on the rooftop and don't want to be with me or around me, stop inviting me places and doing things with me, then I worry. Until then, let's really understand what the book is telling us. What the book say. I ain't perfect, but I'm not that contentious woman that they talking about either. So, that was that. Let me look at some of these comments, see what people say. I'm sorry, I'm all chapped and stuff. And I'm all extra close because it's my phone. Technical difficulties, I'm going to just keep saying that. Oh, greetings from Ghana. Mac Morris, how you doing? All praises. I'm glad you are watching. The children of Israel always doing evil and then cry back to Yah. Thank you, Brother Hall Darren. That's my star. I'm going to say you a superstar because I'm going to just put it out there. A lot of my elder friends think sending me a star means putting stars in the comments. That's not really it. But I love it. However you want it, I love it. I'm trying to make my way and get up there. All glory to God for the examples given. I don't feel like I expressed what I was trying to the way I wanted to, but I don't know. Camera fright, stage fright. I don't know. Just like my music, I feel like I didn't get out what I wanted to get out the way I wanted to get out. I probably was a little intimidated by the mic, but it's just getting better and better. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. I'm probably give y'all a little snippet of my song, one of my songs. But said, yes, go there. Delilah was very contentious. Yes. But people will be fooled because the way it sounds, Delilah had his head resting on her knees. Oh, baby, how you do that? People will be confused. Like, oh, yes, Carlissa. Judith is another example. This woman, and let me know if I'm off a little bit, because I haven't read it in a minute. But Judith is a book that you find in the Apocrypha. And it's a story about when Israel was being afflicted, and they were being told that the people were on the way to afflict them. Something was going to happen. I wish I could remember. But I'm going to just get straight to Judith, because Judith was a widow. So she wore her widow garments, and until she felt like something needed to be done. The Israelites were not moving by faith. And she had a problem with that. I'm sorry, y'all. So she decided to go get dressed up. She must have been like me, to be looking raggedy until it's time to get dressed. And it's like, oh, wow. So she did one of them, oh, wows, because everybody was just stunned at her beauty. And I wasn't saying that to be funny, saying I'm the business or nothing. But I'm just saying she went from she took off her widow garments and had an oh wow moment. I'm just leave it at that. And they were also being impatient and about to make a peace treaty with the other nations. Right. So they were basically like, we gonna fold, because if we don't fold, they gonna fold us. And Judith was like, nah, y'all must not know my God. So she got all dressed up and went to the leader of these people. And long story short, she worked her way all the way up into his chambers. And then when he came in there, she killed him. Long story short, because I'm realizing I'm missing more details than a little bit. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, put the wrong thing out there or anything like that. But this woman was not contentious, but she didn't just settle for the first answer that was given. It was like, okay, well, what about this? Okay, well, what about that? Far from a contentious woman. Definitely a woman used by God for the people. Because with him being dead, the children of Israel, of course, didn't have to succumb to the oppression that they were getting ready to put on them, on the oppression that they were known for putting on all these other nations that they had taken over. Carlissa said, rage went into the men, leaders of Israel, and corrected them, but did it respectfully and bold in the Most High. Yep. So that's what she did. That's what happened. She ended up saving all of Israel, because she definitely had a strong relationship with the Father. And oh my goodness, that's it right there. I mean, Judith. Yeah, Judith went to the... Oh, okay, because I was wondering, like, who is rage, or were they filled with rage? But I wasn't going to say nothing. But Judith went to the men, the leaders of Israel, and corrected them, but did it respectfully and bold in the Most High. So, yeah, I don't know why people think that in order to be a woman of God, you got to be this quiet, shy, scared, timid. Nah. But you can't be loud and all extra boisterous and all of that, and you don't. It's a time to be loud. If your time to be loud is all day, every day, you might want to work on that. If you write about everything and never listen, You might want to work on that. But if it's a given time to stand up and say something, to do something, you might want to do that. Being a man or a woman, because it could be some blood on your hands if you don't. You could say the one thing that turns somebody's whole life, viewpoint, world around. Yeah, that's that. So I'm glad to say that, and I'm gonna keep saying it, even though I've been viewed as a contentious person, I'm not what the Bible tells a man of God to stay away from. I'm gonna tell anybody that's not a man of God to stay away from it, because but this book is to the men of God, and it is not telling anybody to stay away from me. So if you are that woman, please work on it, sis. Yeah, because a lot of these men doctrines are telling women to be quiet and not speak. Right. And you should see them on my head, sis. You should see them on my head. Now that I've accepted the fact that, you know what? I am teaching. I am teaching. But show me one man that I have asserted authority over, other than my sons. Because I have a son he's basically a man now. Show me one man that I've usurped authority over. Or they cannot be teachers as well, right? But I had to realize, when I realized, like, oh my goodness, nobody has even a twinkling of an idea about the Lord's month. I'm going to have to teach it, even if I just teach it to one man and he teach it to everybody. I'm going to have to teach it, unless the Lord open it up on somebody else's mind. But I refuse to have that weight on me, because I was worried for a minute, like, dang, I'm contentious. The Bible says it's better to stay away from me. But then I was like, hold up. I'm not that contentious that they talking about. This has multiple definitions. And I'm not that woman you need to stay away from. When the Father said he will pour out his spirit on the sons and daughters. Daughters! Imagine, I imagine all the time, like, what if I get to the Lord and he be like, I told you, what'd you do with it? You let them men shut you up. You didn't share with not one person. Turn from me. I would die. Like, literally, not just die the second death, but I would die like, I would just be dead. Like, I don't even know what to say, because, I mean, of course I would die the other death, but I would die a couple of deaths before that death, because that's what I'm living my whole life for, is to hear, good job, man, you made it in. Even if you made it by a hair on your knuckle, just let me in. Please. Like, so when I realized, like, I got to do my part as a human, as a man, as a woman, and God ain't gave me no husband, I got to get to talking. You def can debunk those lies and doctrines with all the beautiful example of our women throughout the Bible. So what are they reading? Man, sis, some of them, I don't think they are reading. I don't think they're reading at all. I think they're, or they're being told, read this verse. Nope, stop reading. Okay, go here. Read that verse. Oh, don't read anymore. Nope, stop reading. That's just as bad as what Massa did to us. You can read to them. Don't read out of this book. Don't tell them that. Remind them that they're slaves and to be good to the slave master. But they leaving out a whole lot. And I think that's what's happening. They're reading what they're told to read. I'm like, yeah, I've been tricked enough. Let me go back and read the verse you said, and I'm going to read 2 chapters before it and two chapters after it. And then I'm going to compare with some precepts to make sure that it's talking about what I think it's talking about. So then, yep, I can repent and start to look like him. Following ducks. That's what we got. A whole bunch of following ducks. And they all saying, "Roar! I am alpha male. Hear me roar. You sit down, woman, and shut up." And it's like, dude, you don't look nothing like the reflection of Christ. Nothing. You don't look nothing like the reflection of Christ. But that's what we dealing with. Just to throw out there, I'm getting into this Enoch again. I loved the little bit of information that I've found so far. Where is it? And so far, what I've been studying has not been on the moon. I was more so on the sun. This chapter 72, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm going against both versions at the same time. And this part that I read is in the beginning. I'm sorry, is previous to the chapter that I broke down in that last video, but it's not. I'm not seeing it as previous in the other version. So, I got done reading that. It's basically just how the sun moves around and how the days grow and retract, as well as the night. But I would like to get into this this moon cycle, because like I've said before, the Lord's month is being revealed to us, and we need to make sure we are accurate in what we're doing. And what I saw in that 72, 73 chapter is that that first sighting of light, that half of a seventh portion is invisible, and it is a part of the new moon transitioning phase. It is not the first it is not the first day of the first week. The first day of the first week, it looks like what we can actually see. So what I was doing before, when I found a new moon, I was like, ooh, it's dark moon. Then I was like, ooh, let me keep doing my research. And then I was like, nope, it's first light. We have to have a sign. I went into those signs and found in Genesis 1 that it was complete dark before the first day of the first week. So that transitioning period was complete dark. I was thinking that. But then this chapter 72 and 73 of Enoch drove it in. And I am back to the new moon being a dark transitioning period. And our sign of the first day of the first week is the first time we can actually see some light in the moon. So that's what I'm getting into. I still have to double back and redo that abominations video, because I was so exhausted. I was tired. My brain couldn't think. I was thinking about verses and it was like, where do I pull it up? I know it's in the dietary law. Skipping right over it. I know I was. And then there was some verses I was going to bring up, like the abomination and the swine and the mouse under the tree, you know, that being dealt with all the way up until the end. The abominations from the beginning, abominations all throughout, and abominations in what we see in this day and age. So I plan on redoing that. I thought it would be better than just posting the verses that I was saying I couldn't find. But yeah, I'm gonna just redo that because that was ugly. Yeah, if there are any subjects or any topics anybody want to talk about, if you see anything different than what I say, I'm always open to criticism, whether constructive or destructive. I am always open to whatever argument or debate it is that you have. I'm not going to argue and debate with you because I'm to the point where I really don't care. I'm not the Moses type. Like, I would not be, Lord, kill me so that they, no, God, kill them because I said something. I'm doing my part. I am not the Moses type. So I'm not even going to argue with nobody no more because I don't really care. You going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. We going to do what we going to do until the Lord come back and does what he does. So I'm still open. Iron cannot sharpen iron if they don't make contact. I'm swinging my sword. Somebody swing and hit it back. But what you're not going to do is tell me to be quiet. I'm not going to put my sword away. I'm going to continue swinging it until the Lord tells me to put it away. And like I said, the only way he can do that is one of two ways. One, he give me a husband that tell me to be quiet. Two, he comes back himself and I no longer have to fight in the battle. But I don't know how long this was. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Thank you for listening and corresponding with me. Everything is welcome, like I said, and I will see you next time, Lord willing. Peace, love, and all the above.